Welcome to Troy's Story. Uh, Today I wanted to talk to you about how none of us realize the impact that we're going to have on other people. Last year on my birthday, April 22nd, a few weeks prior to that, to April 22nd, I spoke at a high school in Long Island. And when you're up in front of the class, in front of the assembly and so forth, when you're a guy in your late 50s and you're talking to a bunch of 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, you don't think that they are listening to one word that you say. At least I didn't. But with all of that being said, on my birthday, April 22nd, a week or so, 10 days or so after I spoke at that school, I received all of these thank you notes from different students who wanted to thank me for my message to them and what an impact that I had made on their lives. And when I got their notes, I had really said to myself, I am not going to do this anymore because I just feel like, they don't hear me because you don't get a lot of questions from students at the end of a presentation. But their notes and all of this stuff let me know that they were indeed listening to what I was saying. And what I primarily talk about is the importance of listening to your teachers and listening to your parents, because 99% of the time they have nothing but your best interest at heart. But when you are a kid, you don't want to hear any of that. And oftentimes it takes an outside voice other than your mom or your dad or your aunt or your uncle or a school teacher who will come in and try to impart some knowledge into your big head. I had a whole bunch of people who were trying to impart knowledge into my big head, especially when I was in high school. But this big head wanted nothing to do with that, unfortunately. And I paid the price for that in the long run. And that's the point that I try to get across to the students that I speak with, is that you have to take what these people are trying to share with you and what they see in you and the potential that they see that you have, so that you can go out and make a better life for yourself. But when you're 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, you don't always see that. With all of that being said, just a couple of letters that I wanted to mention in here. I wrote in my book, Gas Money, that my Mama and I did not have the greatest relationship when I was growing up. And that was because Mama was a drill sergeant, and I didn't want to hear anything she had to say because I just thought, what's this old lady know? I'm a smart kid. What's she going to teach me? I could not have been more wrong. She had a lot to teach me, but I wasn't willing to listen at that time in my life. And that may be the same with the number of kids around America who don't want to listen to what elders have to say. And Mama wasn't really an elder. She was only 19 years older than me. Okay, a couple of letters here really struck a chord with me, in that there are a couple of kids in here who admit that they were gangbangers out in Long Island and that they wanted to change their lives. They wanted to change their life around. I had one kid who really gave me a message that I let him know when I spoke to the school how important my mother was to me and how I never appreciated all of the things that she did for me to make a better life for me. And one of the notes that he wrote to me said that, Mr. Lewis, hearing how much you love your mother and hearing about all of the sacrifices that she made for you and your family makes me appreciate my mother more. My mom is a single parent, and I take a lot of the things that she does for granted. And hearing your message but since I've heard your message, I hug my mom each morning when I leave for school, and I hug her when I get home from school. And I thank her for all that she does for me. And in the big scheme of things, when I think that I'm not getting through to anyone, I know that at least on that day, I got through to one kid. And that makes it all worthwhile for me.